Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. I just wanted to do a quick video actually because I've had a delivery through, so hopefully you'll find that the sound on this video is a little bit better as I've got a new microphone that I'm using. But in that delivery, what I got is this little packet of silica gel beads, which I know you shouldn't eat, but I was curious as to what they would look like in a resin pendant. And I'm going to try it with UV resin just to see if it creates any kind of effect whatsoever and what it looks like basically. So if you like the sound of that experiment, stay tuned and we'll go straight to the workshop. So here we are guys, back in the workshop, and this is actually another project that I'm working on with UV resin at the moment. Hopefully you can tell what it's going to be. But no, for this experiment I thought it'd be really fun just to see what happens. So I've got a standard jewellery mould and I've got these little silica gel beads. So I'll be interested to know firstly if they actually cure, first of all. And secondly, if it creates any kind of different effects. I'm going to hopefully have enough in here to do two different ones and see if we get any specific effects coming through. So again, I use this standard UV resin that I got from Temu. Again, if there's any other brands out there that I should be using that you recommend, put it in the comments. It would be great to see them. I've got a simple UV lamp which I have attached to a power bank. And the great thing about UV resin is it is so quick. So literally, hopefully this project, I'm actually doing it on my lunch from work. It should be pretty much done within, hopefully, 5 minutes, which also means a shorter video for you guys because I haven't got to demold. So, firstly, let's have a look at these beads and see what they look like. So pretty straightforward. I'm sure you've seen them before. They're little round, pretty much translucent beads. So in fact, actually looking at how many you get in one pack, I've probably only got enough to do one of these. So I'm thinking to go with a heart-based pendant. And I'm thinking that actually I want a bit of colour in it still. So what I'm going to do is just mix in some chameleon powder with those beads and see if that cures, and if so, what kind of effect. I'm thinking of going with 2 layers, so red on the front and then a whitish one on the back. So just going to add a scoop of that to the beads. And hopefully the chameleon powder will give them a little bit of a coating and a little bit of colour when it's mixed with the resin. So just going to pour in a little bit of resin, not too much. I want enough basically to fill one of those big heart molds to see what sort of look we get. And unfortunately I do have a window in my workshop, so I'm hoping I can get this done quick enough so that the UV resin doesn't cure on its own with the sun. So just going to mix that around a little bit with the powder and see what happens. And there we go, they're kind of taking on the colour, which is what I wanted. And now, before I go any further, I'm still going to use a mould release spray just because it keeps your mould shinier for longer. A couple of quick sprays and I can already feel that the sunlight that is coming in is already starting to cure this, so I'm going to have to get a move on. And there we go, they're completely covered in that chameleon powder, which is quite a nice colour. And I'm just going to flatten them down into that mould. Make sure I've not left any in there. and hopefully get it looking reasonably nice. Again, I probably could have done it a little bit neater, but this is just a quick experiment to see if we get any kind of different effect. So just going to cure that now, literally a couple of minutes each side. And then whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to mix up some white UV chameleon powder as well. I was actually really impressed with this. I did it in my last experiment, which was the dragon scale experiment. If you've not watched it, go back and have a look, where we fit 10 different chameleon powders into one coaster. It was pretty cool. We didn't get the full desired effect, but it was great to see the different colours that are available in these chameleon powders. So again, just putting a little bit of the chameleon powder in there. And now that's been curing. I always like to cure both sides, especially if I'm using something thick like a chameleon powder. And whilst that's curing, I'm just going to mix up some of this white chameleon powder with the UV resin. And hopefully do enough for a little layer to fill that heart mould. If you like the content as well, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Makes such a difference. YouTube basically will then spread the content, and more people get eyes on the channel. The more we grow, the more content we can do, the more of these crazy experiments we can keep doing. And hopefully you're enjoying them. There we go, so that's nicely mixed in as well. I could already see kind of a ball effect, but we'll see. Should be interesting. But on an initial look, it does seem to be curing, so that was the first question I had. Now just going to go in with a second layer of this white chameleon powder, which I was actually really impressed with when I first saw it, just the colours. And I do want this to be pretty full. Don't know if this is going to cure actually, because I'm doing quite a thick layer, and with UV normally you're better off doing shorter thin layers, but as I say, I'm doing this on my lunch, so I'm in a bit of a rush. Hopefully with it being white it will still cure, we will find out. And again, that's the great thing with UV, you know, you can literally do a little project like this or experiment in 10 minutes and have the finished product. You haven't got to wait till the next day like you have with epoxy. Also, let me know in comments, if you are a regular viewer, what you think to the sound quality. Is there an improvement with this new microphone or not? There's also a new stand on its way as well, so hopefully we'll be able to fix the camera work that I've had a few comments about, and keep the channel growing, you know. Again, just going to do this now for a full 2 minutes each side, I think, just to make sure that it's cured before I demold. But that'll be it basically. You can demold that quickly, and that is the great thing with UV resin versus the epoxy resin, because most epoxy resins will take anywhere between 24 to 36 hours before you get to that demold point. And again, if you're liking the look of that, then hopefully the video will be live over the next 2 days. At the minute, I think the outline's pretty much there for a butterfly. Now I just need to figure out what colours I'm going to go with and fill it in. But that was already 2 hours worth of work. So it doesn't look it, but hopefully it'll be a great finished product. Okay, just going to do the underside as well. and we will see what we've got. And don't forget, if there's any experiments you want us to look at, whether it be with UV resin, epoxy resin, or just something you've had niggling in your head as to what would happen if we do this, then let me know in comments and we will try and make it happen. And there we go. Hopefully it should be fully cured. I can tap it, so that's always a good sign. I suppose it's interesting. It cured, so that was the first part of the experiment. And it's almost left black dots. To me, I don't know about you, but that's almost a strawberry or a raspberry effect, because you can just about make out those little balls underneath, and then it's almost gone black where it's cured. So if you're looking for a strawberry or a raspberry style of heart, this could be a good way to go. But yeah, for a fun little experiment, we showed that they will cure. It's still quite warm, so I'm gonna put it back down. But yeah, for a quick experiment, we know that silica will cure in UV resin, and yeah, it gives almost a strawberry / raspberry effect when you mix it with that chameleon powder. Let me know what you think in comments, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next one.